Welcome to the latest Mango report. The most important question about artificial intelligence is not whether machines will think like humans. It is whether the world they might create will still move at a human pace. Humans evolve through DNA. AI evolves through code. DNA takes generations to change. It moves at a snail pace. Code can change overnight. This gap, not intelligence, will be the defining condition of our technological future. For most of history, human life has unfolded within a certain bandwidth of rhythm. Tools improved, institutions and society adapted. Social norms evolved through upheavals, sometimes violently, but slowly enough for meaning to catch up. Society had time to absorb consequences. Decisions could be debated. Mistakes could be reflected upon. Identity could be processed and stabilized. Artificial intelligence breaks this pattern not because it is conscious, but this is because it has shown that it can accelerate without pause. Every civilization is organized around assumptions about time. Law assumes deliberation. Ethics assumes reflection. Responsibility assumes that actions can be understood before they are judged. When systems operate faster than these assumptions allow, power shifts quietly. Not toward those who are wiser, but toward those who can move first. Speed becomes authority. AI systems do not need to convince humans they are right. They only need to act before humans can intervene. Over time, this changes what participation even means. Humans remain in the loop, but increasingly after the fact, reviewing outcomes rather than shaping them. The danger here is subtle. It does not announce itself as domination. It presents itself as efficient. Intelligence was never the core risk. History has never been short on intelligence. What destabilizes societies is a lack of balance, especially temporal asymmetry. When change outruns understanding, institutions lag. When reaction replaces reflection, judgment collapses into machine pattern recognition. The real disruption of AI is not that it can think, but that it never has to wait. Waiting is not a technical limitation. It is a moral one. To wait is to allow uncertainty, responsibility, and doubt. Systems that do not wait are systems that do not need to justify themselves in human terms. If humans are forced to match machine speed, the result is not evolution but compression. Compression looks like productivity, but feels like erosion. Thinking becomes reaction. Learning becomes adaptation. Ethics becomes delayed. Decisions are made faster than they can be understood. Yet humans remain accountable for the outcomes. Burnout, anxiety, and moral fatigue stop being personal failures and become structural conditions. The problem is that people cannot keep up. It is that keeping up was never biologically or psychologically possible. This is not dystopia. It is a highly optimized world that has quietly outgrown its inhabitants. This leads to the quiet reclassification of humans. In fast systems, humans are rarely removed outright. Instead, they are repositioned. From decision makers to validators. From authors to editors. At first, this feels like assistance. Over time, it becomes displacement. Humans are still present but no longer setting the pace. Responsibility remains, but control thins. Agency becomes symbolic rather than real. This is the most dangerous configuration of all, accountability without authority. The future is unlikely to arrive as a single unified world. Instead, it splits. One world is fast, automated, optimized, and emotionally empty. It values immediacy and treats delay as failure. The other world is slow, deliberative, and human-paced but increasingly scarce. Slowness becomes expensive. Reflection becomes a privilege. Time itself becomes something that must be protected rather than assumed. The risk is not that slowness disappears, but that it becomes inaccessible. Acceleration is real and irreversible. The question is not whether systems can move faster, but where speed must stop. Every humane society draws boundaries around what cannot be rushed: justice, love, identity, and irreversible decisions. These domains require time, not as inefficiency, but as a condition for meaning. If everything accelerates, nothing remains human. The challenge ahead is not to slow machines down universally, but to govern time deliberately, to decide where speed belongs and where it does not. The debate about AI often asks whether machines will surpass human intelligence. The framing of the debate should change. The deeper question is simpler and more unsettling. Who sets the tempo of reality? Because whoever controls speed controls power. And whoever defines acceptable pace defines what kinds of lives are possible. AI will not end humanity, but a world that never waits might, hauling itself into the abyss. The task of this moment is not to close the gap between DNA and code, but to live wisely within it to ensure that as systems accelerate, humanity is not compressed beyond recognition. The future will belong not to the fastest machines, but to the societies that remember why waiting mattered in the first place. A cooling down period. A pause.